This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. We have the guy that you have seen create an insane amount of cheat sheets for everybody in the Discord. If you've seen any cheat sheet in the Discord community, in any channel, there is a 110% chance this guy Joey created it. If you guys are not in the Discord, well, then you're probably still shooting yourself in the foot. Hop in the Discord. But the reason I'm referencing that is this guy does so much Excel sheets and cheat sheets for us that we sent him 2 different ugly Christmas sweaters. Both, I think one was a freak in the sheets, and the other one was, I think it said something like there's a cheat sheet for that, or I can create a cheat sheet for that, something like that. So Joey and I talk almost every single day in the Discord, and what we kind of want to do here with this video is he just wants to kind of highlight like the things that are hitting the most, which, I mean, we kind of go over this already within the Discord community of like, hey, like do this, do this, do this. We have a lot of highly detailed guidelines, but this is something we want to do. I don't know if it's gonna be like a weekly thing or maybe like a couple times a month. We'll figure that out as we go along, but this being the first one, we're just gonna play it by ear, see what happens. So is this the first time that your face has appeared on our YouTube channel, Joey?
On the channel, yeah.
I see this guy's face all the time, but that's because his Discord avatar has his face in it. But yeah,
well, I jump in on the coaching sessions and stuff like that and listen to everybody.
Oh, and we have a coach session tomorrow that we actually broke our own record for how quickly this coaching session sold out, which is awesome. That means more people are knowing, like literally above our heads. Remember, it says, if you ever need help, just ask. The coaching session, which this month's already full, so you have to wait for February's if you're interested in doing that. Glad that Joy brought that up. Is just like face-to-face, like literally like a Zoom. Anybody that has questions, you grab a seat. It's limited to only 10 people, which is January 1, was fully booked within 48 hours of opening it up, which is awesome. But it's just, I stay on the Zoom with everybody until every single question is asked. So if you've watched all the videos and you've gone through all the Discord stuff and you're like, okay, I watched everything, but I still have a few questions that I don't think were answered, or maybe not answered clearly in the videos, that's what the coaching stuff is for. But of course, I mean, you can always ask questions in the Discord at any time. But yeah, so anywho, let's get right into it here. So right now we have pulled up, I guess what we're calling this here is Rap Time with Joey B. That sounds like an album. Joey B sounds like a musical artist name. I feel like Joey B's like a 90s boy band guy that like broke off from his 90s boy band and he's now doing solo stuff like a Justin Timberlake. Like that's what Joey B feels like. But anyway, Rap Time with Joey B is what this is here. So as you see on screen, he's got pulled up. This is specific to NBA team stuff. No, actually though, there's a bunch of things on here. This is a little bit of everything. I'm gonna stop yapping. Joey, you take it from here.
All right. Yeah. No. Hey. I love doing this stuff. So first and foremost, like I started this over a year ago, and I just started out just posting screenshots, and then more screenshots, and then people were asking for data channels and pinning stuff. So I just kept going with it, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I've got more stuff in the works. I've got stuff that is tracking bet scores, and so anytime anybody has questions,
Joey has quickly become one of the most popular people in Discord. And that's something I want to address as well real quick, is that this wasn't like I put out an ad that I'm looking for someone to like do this or this. Joey just was naturally a part of our Discord. He was a member, he was in there, and then we realized that, oh, this guy loves creating cheat sheets for everything. And then I was like, hey, do you want to create something for this and this and this? And then all of a sudden it exploded to where everybody, that you can't exist in our Discord and not know about Joey B or any of his cheat sheets. But yeah, not to jump in the middle there, but yeah, this guy is definitely, everybody knows this guy at this point.
No, it's fun, and I love everybody getting the opportunity to use them. I love hearing that they worked. I love people posting that, hey, thanks to this cheat sheet or whatever. But that's what we're all here about. And a lot of people, as you say multiple times, I mean, all the other discords, they're all about them. They're all about me. Why'd you play that? Why'd you play that? And I'm not here to tell anybody to play something or not play something. I'm just here to help you get an edge or a better edge to a bet. So that's all I'm trying to do here. So, and then this, I mean, that jumps right into this, why it highlights it, so I've been tracking NBA since the beginning of the season, which they started in later October. NHL, we'll get into that too. It started in later or early October. So hand in hand, these have been helping me get better numbers. And so this is the whole season. So we'll jump into it. I mean, you got the NBA money line. So this is the overall money line hit rate for PlayerProps.ai. So 627 games. This stopped. Also, I got to say this. I had to create a stopping point. So this was January 16th. So it was October to January 16th for these. So there's been a couple more games, and you can play the fine tuning there. But so as of January 16th, 627 games. We've hit 412 and we've missed 215. That's straight up. So that's 65.
All moneyline predictions, regardless of red or green or any guidelines.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you were, in other words, if you are using the app not as designed and just blindly locking in the AI projection, you're still hitting at a 65% rate.
So then you go into it, but you've got minus 1,400 odds, you've got minus 1,100. So that's where you start understanding how to bet. I just stopped it at minus 200. So minus 200 or better is hitting at 65.71%. So that's just straight up red or green. If the AI says to play the money line, if the AI projects the money line, then you hit that. So, and then you go over and then you got the cheat sheet, and you can see that you get better odds because the cheat sheet's going to only give you, what's hitting at a good rate. And then, the profit using the cheat sheet over just straight up money line. So there's $188. And that's if you're making $100 bets. That's kind of your typical rate, kind of metric, I guess everybody uses, it's $100 bet.
So with, remind me, the cheat sheet does factor in the red and the green in terms of the moneyline rating, or does it not?
No, it does not.
I'd be curious that if regardless, so if we're looking at, I mean, yes, a 65% hit rate, if most of them are average minus 200, that's where the minus 900 comes in. So
no, I got you. You are correct. Yes, it is with it being green. With the predictor telling you to play the money line.
So the 627 games are only when the money line is green. The money line.
Those are straight up as the prediction. With the cheat sheet.
Okay.
It's money line is green and your cheat sheet saying to play.
So I want to focus on the G2 one, which says profit with player PPAI, PlayerProps.ai. This is also including the red ones, and I tell you in every single video and all throughout Discord, if you solely look at the AI projection of things, why in the world would I have other things on the screen if it wasn't important to reference? Because otherwise I'd just be like, hey, Lakers money line 65%, and then that would be it, because if that's the only thing to pay attention to, but that's not how it works. So if you just bet from the October to January 16th, he's saying here, out of 627 games where the AI projected either side, and you bet $100 on everything with average odds minus 200, you'd be down $900. That is what you're down from not paying attention to the money line rules. The rules are, we never bet money lines that are red. The red means that the money lines are overprojected, overvalued, and that the game's going to be a lot closer than the Vegas sportsbooks predict. So I'd be interested to see kind of like a middle between blindly betting things and ignoring money line rules, which led to a minus $900 loss, and the profit with the cheat sheet, which does factor in the greens and the reds of the Moneyline ratings, like what would the middle be, not using the cheat sheet, but just focusing on green money lines? And if you've looked at the Moneyline predictor, that's exactly, there's a rating, like a percentage, which shows you the difference between what the AI is saying and what the Vegas sportsbooks are saying. I don't know why we still say Vegas sportsbooks. Sportsbooks are so all over the place. That
They're everywhere.
we still refer to odds as Vegas. The books are Vegas because that's where it all started. But I'd be interested to see how much that minus $900 loss gets shrunken when people are using the money line as it's designed, or the money line predictor, I mean.
And I've got that. I just have to pull it up somewhere, but yeah, it's just the main point of this is PlayerProps.ai is definitely more profitable than the books. Just playing it straight up, not knowing anything, just looking at it and playing it the way you think it goes. But then you're getting worse odds. That's your minus 200. That's why, it's a 65% hit rate, but you got minus 900. But that's why, is because you're playing just everything, and it's not, minus 1,400 hits and you only win, $1.40. So that's where, I try to express that the average odds also go up because you're playing smart plays and you're making better plays, and you're getting that your money's worth in each bet.
One of the things that drives me crazy, which if you're new and you didn't know and you're just learning, it's fine. But if you've been with us for at least a month and I see you have like a 3 or 4 or 5 pick parlay and there's a money line of any team and it's like minus 1,100, the amount that actually adds to your payout is pennies. But in sports, which is why we all love sports, anything can happen on any day. So the star player can get hurt, and then all of a sudden you have a situation where the opposing team can just destroy the other team without this one key cog of the wheel. And that's what kind of what Joey's talking about with the average odds. It's like you have to factor in all the things that are on the screen. If the AI likes XYZ, are the odds crazy? Does it say like minus 350? If it does, don't worry about it, because the risk of that losing is nowhere near the amount of pennies that it adds to your payout, whether it's a single or part of a parlay. And some people just think like, oh, well, if I throw like 7 minus 500 things together and it creates it's probably somewhere around like a plus 100, then I'm putting 7 things that are highly likely to happen and I can double up my money, which there's an insane amount of people that do that. But you don't realize that you can make smarter choices using the app. So maybe instead of 7 minus 500s, you do 3 minus 175s, and your payout could be a lot more, but your risk is greatly reduced because now you don't have to worry about 7 different things happening. So just please, for love of all that's holy, stop putting 4-digit odds into your slip. I recommend not doing, for a parlay, definitely not ever doing anything crazier than minus 300, but normally for singles, and I guess you can say parlays as well, under minus 200 is the cap. You want to make sure that when a team gets upset, that you took the risk on adding enough to your bankroll. If a team gets upset and if they didn't get upset and they won, and they only added 30 cents to your payout, that risk is not worth it. And we don't like putting money on things that, I guess the cliche idiom is the juice worth the squeeze? If you squeeze an orange, and the entire orange, and you get 1 drop of orange juice, was it worth you squeezing that orange? No. If that doesn't make sense, let me know and I'll figure out some other metaphor to use. Enough of my rambling. All right, let's move on to what else you're going to say.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, if you're paying attention to building parlays, some bets actually take away. Like, you can actually you could add something there.
Correlation, yeah.
Yeah. So it can actually take away from your odds of, like, if you bet on the same player, or, you could bet a player at plus 150, and then you could add another one of his stats, and it'll actually go down to plus 125. And so just pay attention to that stuff. I mean, that's it's not really rocket science, but a lot of people just throw it in there and they just bet. And it's like, no, pay attention to what you're getting for odds. That's the whole way they pay you out. So you got to pay attention to it. And a lot of people are just like, it's going to hit, it's going to hit. Yeah, it probably will, but it's only going to pay you 20 cents.
That was my biggest frustration. So I know we're recording this on Friday, January 23rd, and I already have, so this weekend is the AFC NFC Championship on Sunday. And I make sure, don't ever say that again. I make sure that I don't, the one thing that we wind up on every play of the day episode isn't anything crazy odds-wise. And I went through everything for the AFC Championship game. And the only thing out of going through every possible player prop that made sense based on how we teach you to use the app was a certain play that was a little more juicy than I would have liked. And if you ever hear us say anything, use the word juicy in Discord or any of the videos, the further away a negative number is from 0, the more juicy it is. And the word juicy, there's a lot of ways you can explain that. In Vegas terms, it means like you're paying the juice, you're paying the sports books much too much than they're going to pay you if you win. And so anything over 200 is definitely juicy. So yeah, unfortunately for the AFC Championship, I wanted to end on something. The only thing that made sense was something that was slightly over minus 200. But anywho, moving on.
Yeah. So this is kind of like, I kind of like tout myself. I've done all the work, so 39,000 total props on.
Let me repeat that, ladies and gentlemen. This man has tracked 40,000 props from just NBA. This guy lives and breathes tracking. So when we say something is hitting at a high rate, you probably want to pay attention. If we say something's not hitting at a high rate, you probably want to pay attention to that as well. This man needs, I'm sure like Microsoft or Apple or somebody's gonna be calling up this guy like, hey, I saw your cheat sheets on this episode. We want you. Something's gonna happen.
So then to even tout, player props even more, like what you talk about is baby lines, which basically is, if anybody knows about the trifecta sheet, those are the baby lines. Those are the limits. The 4.5, the 3.5 assist, 4.5 assist, or 14.5 points, for NBA. This goes to show you that just 12,000 less possibilities and you're hitting at a better rate. You're hitting at 53%, just removing baby lines. So,
and that's I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a question we get asked as well, is like, hey, like I understand that you guys have guidelines, but how much are the guidelines actually helping us win as opposed to ignoring the guidelines? Yes, like it could be, there's an insane amount of things in non-baby line that row 4 that has a 27,000 with a 53% hit rate. This is just removing one rule, or removing ones that don't abide by one rule. So we go from all player props from this entire standpoint, which is 40,000, which is crazy, to let's get rid of all of the baby lines. And then we go, and then our hit rate increases. And then I'll not spoil the other stuff, so I'll let you go ahead and go from there.
Well, then there's the other question that we get. How good are trifectas? How good? What are trifectas in the whole system? Well, I pulled up the highest hitting ones. Most of them, are just over 50%. But these are your big hitters right now. Are your 3-point made and your your points trifectas, but. The point is that trifectas are just kind of your starting point for your beginners that don't understand what a baby line is or where to start. This all kind of adds into, these are starting points. These are not like just click the button and play them. You still have to watch the defensive ranks. You got to watch the last 5, the head-to-head, the injury report, the 6 steps that we added in there. The past couple of months, it's been, is it a baby line? Is it going to be a blowout? What's the injury report? Does the AI lean that way? And they're not in any particular order. I'm just kind of going off of them. But this is a starting point. And even with a starting point, you're at 60% with minus 130 odds. You're profiting $892 just with PlayerProps.ai. You know, I didn't even add in, the cheat sheet there. I just kind of stole that number from PlayerProps and added it in because, the big ultimate adding to the cheat sheet. I don't track the hit rate of the cheat sheet for player props. There's too many. I could tell you, I could go through and tell you, but the cheat sheet changes every day.
40,000.
The cheat sheet changes every day, so I can't really. I don't track it every single day, but glad when people do catch it and they post it in the either winning screenshots. That's a huge kind of ovation to the cheat sheet, and that's kind of the biggest thing I can get from it when somebody says, "Hey, thanks to the cheat sheet," that's awesome. I love hearing that. That's kind of my driving force behind all this. So
love it.
And then you go into your non-baby line 3-point unders and the double overs, actually. Player Props AI. Now, if you're picking, the Joker, he's usually minus 1,100 for a double. Don't play that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a double machine. So,
but the reason the ones that 260 of those is because I think the double wasn't something we added till a few months into the NBA season as well. But this is news to me. I don't think I would have assumed it wasn't doing well, but the fact that this is the first time that I know we have our own cheat sheets and stuff, but this particular one showing that for a subscription that costs $499 for a 365-day period, and if you, I don't like to use the word blindly, but if you were doing non-baby line double overs that weren't incredibly crazy odds like Joker, or I don't know, what, like Shy's pretty high up there often as well.
Well, Sabonis is back too. Yeah, he's another one.
$100 bets with an average odds of minus 110. You're up $2,000 in just a few months in the first half of the NBA season. If you've signed up for the annual pass at the beginning of the NBA season, you're currently profiting. You've already made that back, and you're up $1,500 just on double overs that aren't baby lines, which is crazy. Well, hold on. What double? It says non-baby line, but isn't double overs always 0.5?
Yeah. So I say non-baby line, but that's where I track them. So
I got
that's why I came from. Double does not have a baby line.
Wait a second.
It's just,
does somebody have
the baby line is over, right?
Yeah.
It's the same with the triple double. There's not a lot of triple doubles that are over. A lot of the triple doubles are under, and it's hitting at a 97% hit rate, believe it or not.
That is crazy.
But yeah, so then to kind of throw in the big difference between playing just the regular money line and then the cheat sheet, that's $1,000.
So right
not
now,
profit,
the profit with
savings.
the cheat sheet numbers are hidden behind your face on screen. So if you want to scroll over a little bit, boom. Oh, there we go.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and then I went into ROI and stuff like that, and that gets even more nerdy, but definitely more interesting as you go into ROIs and stuff like that, where you start seeing the profitability goes from a 20% ROI to a 24% ROI, which if you understand ROIs, that's just your return on investment, and that's where you really determine how much money you're really making versus every bet.
So I want to go back to the minus $900 part. I uploaded right before this. I did an NBA show for today, for Friday, January 23rd. And the first comment, please don't troll this man. He just was asking a question. So this is not me saying attack them or make fun of them. We don't do that here. But the first comment I got on this video was, why are you so hard on everyone joining the Discord? Just chill, man. And it's because G1, if you aren't using this thing as designed, you're going probably, if you're just doing it blindly thinking you know how to use it, you're probably going to lose money. You're shooting yourself in the foot. And when you bet on a player and you bet on a team, but you didn't use the app as I'm telling you, you are probably going to blame the app, or you're going to blame the player, and you're never going to blame yourself. what we do with the Discord is when you find something you like, maybe it is a Moneyline, you take a screenshot of it from the app, you drop it into the channels in Discord. Hey guys, am I looking at this right? Do you think this looks good? And then there's 22,000 people in there that'll be like, yeah, I think that looks like a good play, or I probably wouldn't do that because X, Y, Z. So that to answer the individual who asked that question on today's in today's YouTube comments, that's why. You are shooting yourself, if you're not using the app as designed, you're shooting yourself in the foot. The only way that we know that you aren't using it as designed is by you asking questions in the Discord, being present, saying like, hey, am I reading this right? Am I not reading this right? The only way you can fail with PlayerProps.ai is not being in the Discord and not asking questions. As long as you never stop asking questions, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I stress this every single day in the Discord and the videos. As long as you never stop asking questions, you cannot fail. That is why this big banner is above both of our heads. Remember, if you ever need help, just ask. It's that simple. You can ask in the Discord. You can DM me a question. Heck, I'm sure Joey will let you even DM a question as well, which I'm sure you get tons of DMs on your cheat sheets anyway.
I get a bunch.
Yeah. Anywho. All right, so are we done with this one? We want to go to NHL now?
Let's rock it.
All right. The first thing I see is profit with PPAI $16,000, and this is just in the first half of the NHL season. Oh my gosh! All right, take it away.
Yeah.
Holy baloney.
I mean, yeah. Spreads hit. That's all I'm going to tell you. Spreads hit. Past 2 days they've gone 11-1 straight up without cheat sheets.
And it's not
11-1.
so I know you have it separated here on screen between home and away, but it looks like it doesn't even matter because it's 15 plus 1,500 home plus 1,700 away.
Yep.
The NHL spread predictor collectively 68, almost 69%. Man.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, what do you got to say? I mean, that's it. You just pay attention. I mean, this is not even. I mean, the one thing you get if you look at it, I'm gonna have to move it over here. But
yeah.
I mean, player props will give you the. You get a better return on investment. You get better odds. You get a similar record. I don't know. Can you see that 117 and 41?
Yeah. That's
the cheat sheet record. So it's a little less than, you got 197 and 87, and then 117 and 41, and that's the spreads at home. So, and then the spreads away are 329 and 153, and then 73 and 25. So you make almost the same amount of money overall profit, but you don't have to risk as much.
Right.
So that's another probably conversation for another time. The ROI is obviously there if you want to do the calculations on them. So
click back to the NBA sheet real quick. Okay, so profit with cheat sheet, let's just say 2,500 even, and then go back to NHL. So what are we at, like
20,000 or 18,7?
About $19,000 profit with a cheat sheet for just the items collected in this cheat sheet. Not everything collectively, but just the things that are hitting the most. Almost, let's just round it up to $20,000 just for 2 leagues that haven't even had their All-Star break yet.
I hate it. I don't want the All-Star break to happen.
We'll find something to keep us entertained. Well, they don't overlap though. That's the best part. Oh, wait, do they this year? I don't know if I just put my foot in my mouth. I don't think it's smart. It would be smart of the leagues to overlap them. So I'm just going to say that they don't. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, then the NHL has, the team total over and away also included in the cheat sheets. I haven't tracked the actual over-unders, but this was just straight up over-under, whether the AI projected it over and the away team.
Wait, which
for the
one
team total.
specifically? Oh,
So we're looking at
A5?
A5 here.
Okay, so this is NHL teams that are playing on the road, that are the away team, when the team total, which is the AI's projection of how many goals that team is going to score, is higher than the line available for that team.
Yes.
There's 493 times that you've recorded that the AI has favored that the away team is going to go beyond their individual team score, and that is 57%, minus 130, because typically totals are never crazier than that normally, and then that by itself is a $600 profit.
Yep.
Crazy.
So then another 39,000. It astonished me, like I just sat back and I was like, holy cow, I'm over 80,000, almost over 80,000 stats in 2 leagues in half of a season. Half of each season, but
That's crazy.
and almost at 60%. And that's just player props. That's not even the team stuff. So yeah, so over 80,000 for team and player props. And this is all from PlayerProps.ai. This is the devs doing their work to get all the props out to everybody that's available, and yeah, they miss some sometimes, but everybody's putting in. I had 3 questions today. Hey, are you having problems seeing these stats? And I'm like, hey, if you recognize them on an app, a sports book, let the devs know. Put a ticket in. Help everybody out. So when everybody wakes up, they have the stats to look at. So
yeah, normally that's when we get those questions the most is in the early AM hours, because what I tell my devs in terms of like when to start pushing they're constantly working on new features. In the last 3 or 4 months, I think we pushed more new features than in the first 2 years combined. Like, we are constantly pushing new things out. There's something coming out, I think, knock on wood, by the end of conference championships that'll help NBA and NHL significantly, because I'm not going to go into too many details because I want to keep the surprise going. But man, I just had a brain fart. The thing I was referencing is actually I just had a brain fart. I started thinking about my devs. It was like, oh, we're talking about the ticket thing. That's what we're talking about. But no, because time of the games ending isn't till like midnight or 1 a.m. sometimes Eastern time. I was like, don't push anything out because people still want to reference things. They don't want to have any kind of hiccups. Focus on like 3 a.m. to the 8 a.m. time span. So normally when you see something that's like, hey, wait a second, like I don't see this stat, chances are they're pushing an update out the second you look at it. But as you just mentioned, there's a channel in Discord that's literally called tech support. Hit that button up, tap that, open a ticket, and be like, hey, just to make sure like this isn't showing like it's in the middle of the update. And then 99 times out of 100, they're like, yeah, it's just updating. But anyway, that was a weird brain fart I had. Go ahead.
Go for it. So yeah, so going down and you always tout shots on goal. There's a lot of trifectas. And we've been making some updates to the defense and shots on goal, goals, assists, adding in the defensive rank and that type of stuff. So that's definitely going to help even more, going forward. But that was just the past couple of days, or weeks, I guess. When was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, that we added defensive ranks for NHL?
Within the last
something
week or so, yeah.
So that'll definitely help out there. But yeah, keep hockey rolling. Forget the Olympics, forget the All-Star break. Just keep going. So
I really, man, I would love to have AI models for the Olympics, but that's not for something that only happens for 2 months at a time every 4 years. It's just, there's not enough data on all of the athletes that are competing. I don't think we're going to have anything for this, like for world basketball, like USA versus Japan or Germany or things like that. Like, we have some data on the players that are actually on NBA teams, but we don't have enough all-encompassing data. So we might be able to make recommendations, but there's not going to be like any models for the Olympics. But I don't know if I've mentioned this in Discord or any video, but I am probably the most hardcore Olympics fan that I know personally, and I am stoked for these Olympics. The goal is to get myself, so this is winter. The goal is to get myself to LA for the Summer Olympics in 2028 and to go to as many events as possible. Maybe we'll have a player props party at the Olympics in 2028. We'll see what happens. Anywho, go ahead, continue.
What kind of pull you got there? All right.
Zero.
Yeah, no. This is kind of just I could pull stats all day, and the thing is like we were kind of chit-chatting before. The biggest thing is that these are your edges. These are what you're looking for in an overall bet. You're not looking to just play somebody over or under or because they're your favorite team or you have a feeling, but use these stats to your advantage, and then all the baby lines, the trifectas, the 6-step process that's been put in place. I feel like sometimes, we're a lot of times saying, nah, that's not really a great bet, or, and that's why. I mean, it's not that we don't like the player, that we don't like the idea that it could or could not hit, but overall, you want all those edges to have a sharp bet, and that's where you're trying to get that profit from. And when you wake up in the morning, you're like, yeah, I knew that was going to hit because I knew the defensive rank was red, and I knew they were going to go under, and I knew that there, people coming off of injury, like Giddy last night, like he came off of injury, so that affected some of the lines and why and how, and for the Bulls, by the way. I don't know if we needed to. Anyways. But yeah, those injury reports are huge, and a lot the back-to-back, adding into the back-to-the-back idea, that for the novice bettor or the new bettor coming in that doesn't really understand the sport, the back-to-back is a lot because you have a few players. Zion doesn't like to play back-to-back. Joel Embiid.
Zion doesn't like to play.
Well, all right. So we'll go into, Benchero or...
Boncaro.
No, I'm just messing with it.
Benchero. Get out of here.
Where was Orlando last night?
So, it's funny you mentioned that. I know this has not much to do with this, but I have, to my right here, I don't get jerseys that have players' names because I have no loyalty to players. I have loyalty to teams, so pretty much I just put my own last name on there, so I don't have to keep recycling jerseys. But I got a Boncaro one. With the new design, the new logo, and I got a hat here for today's NBA show. I was going to wear both of them, but it was such an embarrassing show yesterday that I can't, nope, not going to wear it, not going to do it. Anywho.
Well, and they were coming back from what, Germany or overseas?
They had a game in Germany and a game in London. So yeah, I think this was their first game back from their international tour.
But those are the little things that you look at, and everybody, all the talking heads were all like, yeah, they're coming back from overseas, they're gonna be short legs. So
yep.
Anyways, but that's really all I got. I mean, yeah, there's not a lot.
I mean that's
there's a quantity, but there's not a lot of different ones. But I mean, there's some hitting at 55% and this and that and the other, but it's hard to capture the plays that we should be focusing on playing, and so this is a broad stroke, playing with the cheat sheet, understanding that, just highlighting that, hey, it's all there, and if you're playing a bet and it doesn't hit, wake up in the morning and be like, hey, it was the bet. It was the bet. It just didn't happen.
So the two things I want to kind of tag along with that. The first thing is a question I get asked a lot is like, why are all your NFL shows starting on receiving yards? Why do all of your hockey shows start on shots on goal? Why do all your NBA shows start on points? First, Exhibit A, NFL. We're the only YouTube channel on planet Earth this season to have 26 straight days of not missing. Nobody else can say that. Why? Because I follow my own guidelines. Oh, you're going back and forth. I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I have all your personal information now. Everybody knows it. No, anyway, so what I was saying is focusing on, I know what the AI kicks the most butt at. And I know just from a logic standpoint of what's the easiest thing to predict. So I start on receiving yards. And most of those plays within that 26-day streak we had were receiving yards. Now, if both of the shows we have out for Sunday hit, I think we're back on like a 13 or 14-day streak of football, because we include the college football final where we all profited off of that video. About 2 weeks now straight after Sunday's shows hit. And then Exhibit B, NBA, 3 points, 60% hit rate, Trifectas, 60% hit rate. And then NHL, shots on goal. That's what he's focusing on, the shots on goal one. All the $16,000 profit. That's a shot on goal is a massive part of that number. I don't just pick plays like, oh, I like these stats. I just want to pick something to put myself in the most optimal decision to find something that's going to hit, because the more things that hit, the more people on YouTube go, oh, this app actually works. These guidelines, how he's teaching us actually work. Or for the people who are already signed up and in the Discord and using the app, just to give them an extra boost of confidence, like, yes, this stuff works. If it didn't work, he wouldn't go 26 straight days NFL without, missing one. And what I punch myself in the nuts for on NHL is our last show we had. We focused on shots on goal, but it was like a minus 198 line. I'm like, oh, I don't want to focus on anything that juicy. So I forced myself to go to saves, which is my second one I go to after shots on goal. And if I would have just ate that little bit of juice, NHL streak would still be nice. But anyway, stop my rambling. Did you want to pull up another sheet?
Well, I was going to pull up the NFL cheat sheet. It doesn't matter. I mean, NFL is almost over, and it's getting, NFL hit, very good if you were making smart bets. If you were just picking whatever, then you were 50-50. It was really a coin flip. But if you got into defensive matchup, game script, all that stuff that you talk about, I mean, it's there. It's just you got to create the script, and
yep.
We talked about this at the football game. It's like you got to tell a story. You got to make a story, and it's got to be believable. To yourself, and you do it out loud. But you got to make that game script, and you got to say, hey, so and so is going to have this. Why is a quarterback projected to go over 1.5? Well, is he gonna throw the ball? Is he gonna run the ball? Why? Is his rushing yards over or under, and et cetera, et cetera. So, you can go deeper into that game script and just really, really highlight AI being very, very good at if you line up the game script.
I mean, we can definitely do. We'll do a show in like August before NFL gets underway and kind of go over everything that worked out this season. So I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned this after hitting record or if this was just something me and you talked about beforehand. But we really didn't know. This was the first time we kind of just put this idea together for this kind of recap stuff. But I think now that we've done this first show, I think what we should probably do is do a monthly recap. So maybe like at the end of. So this is essentially the monthly recap for January, but includes all of this stuff. But then when we do one at the end of February, we can do one that's like, okay, since that show, this is what has changed. These things are now hitting at a lower rate, but these things are hitting at a higher rate and vice versa. If you guys have any specific things that you would like to see highlighted that we didn't go over, just let us know in Discord. Again, there's a suggestions channel in there, but you don't even need to use that for just let us know in any of the channels, or shoot me a DM. It doesn't matter. But I think this was awesome because I like the fact that I didn't look at this exact cheat sheet before recording, because that helps me. Like when I see things for the first time, it helps me generate new questions and questions of if you saw for the first time, you as a user, this is something that you would ask. But freaking 16,000 on NHL. That's going to be the title of this video. I've already thought that up. So that's what's going to be there. But no, Joey, thank you again for hopping on here. I mean, first off, not even hopping on here, but putting 40,000 NBA player props and tracking 40,000 NHL player props across everything else. I'm 99% sure Joey's gonna be showing up to the player props party in March, so you get to meet him in person for the first time. Yeah, this has been awesome, and appreciate.
There is one thing I want to jump on real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I've been putting a lot of work into this PGA one and done. Man, I love it. I mean, this
Have
is
you played
kind of
one of
like
these leagues before?
never.
It's
Never.
the easiest out of all sports on planet Earth. It's the easiest fantasy league you can possibly play in.
Yeah, and we've got about 15 teams that I'm trying to line up because Picker went down. So if
We melted
nobody's
the Picker servers accidentally.
so when that went down, everybody had kind of a trouble getting into it and getting their names and getting all their stuff up, and then it melted. And I grabbed it right before, and then they were nice enough to send out the list. So I'm just trying to match up Discord names to what people picked because people made up their own names and all that stuff. So I'm trying to capture all that.
Yeah.
So if your name's on the list in red, we just need to match you up. And then please, come on, come all. Let's play. Let's go.
Yeah. So for that, there's the sheet, the leaderboard sheet that Joey puts together for this PGA Fantasy Contest. That's, like I said, super easy. You can join it anytime this season, but the quicker you join, the more chances you have to win it. If you win the whole thing, and how it works, of course, is already in the other videos we dropped. But if you win the whole thing, you get a free year of PlayerProps.ai Premium. That's 365 days of paying $0.00 and making $16,000 in NHL profit. But look at if you did something for week 1 and you don't see your name on the cheat sheet in the PGA channel for week 2, which is this week, just let Joey know and he can kind of match it from there. But yeah, so aiming to do this at the end of every month for whatever sports are going on. Joey, thank you very much again for putting in the time to track 100,000 player props and bets across, specifically for this show, just NBA and NHL, but of course he does it for everything else as well. MLB is getting close, ladies and gentlemen, and if you were here last year for MLB, we made $16,000 with NHL right here the first half of the season, but oh my gosh, MLB... I'm surprised this podcast is still offering MLB stuff after what we did to them last year.
Let's go.
But yeah, appreciate it, Joey. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, Joey and myself are available nearly 24/7, 365 in the Discord, which is where we'll see you. Thanks again for tuning in, and thanks, Joey, for being on here.